Welcome back to Tracking That, a channel where we try to track what liberals are saying but end up not being able to as usual. So Donald Trump needs to choose Tulsi Gabbard to be his vice president. I think it's an obvious no-brainer if you really think about it. I know the polls say that Donald Trump is way up and that he's likely going to get a landslide victory, but we want to guarantee this. So we need to be tactical rather than lactical in this situation. I keep hearing the same three names of who Trump could choose as vice president: Doug Burgum, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. There's not going to be a single vote gained if he chooses any of them, and also it shows that Trump would never learn if he actually would choose someone like Marco Rubio. So if we can choose someone that is embracing MAGA policies, that would be a good president, but then would also go into the independent pool vote, that is best case scenario for Trump, and that would pretty much guarantee him victory, and that's why I think he needs to choose Tulsi Gabbard.
I left the Democratic Party because it is led by an elitist cabal of woke warmongers. They are driven by an insatiable greed for power, and they are willing to do whatever they deem is necessary, even the destruction of our freedom, to get what they want and to stay in power. This is the challenge and the threat behind those who are abusing their power in more brazen ways than I ever would have imagined today. I left the Democratic Party because it's led by fanatical ideologues who don't believe in freedom. They don't believe in freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, and the right of every one of us to express ourselves without fear of retribution or retaliation from those in power. They censor speech they don't like. Why and how? They say, we need to protect you from yourselves, and so we have to protect you from things that we call misinformation, disinformation, or hate speech, speech that they don't like. They undermine our civil liberties, working with powerful entities in the propaganda media and big tech. They're trying to get rid of our Second Amendment in every way possible, rejecting the very reason why our founders passed it right after the First Amendment.
And I know what you're thinking. Tulsi Gabbard embraced some radical left policies in the past, such as climate change, but her stance has changed like many other politicians. She's embraced policies like having a secure border, being anti-war, anti-abortion, anti-trans ideology, the standard America First issues. The main appeal to her is that she was a former Democrat that endorsed Joe Biden back in 2020 and Bernie Sanders back in 2016, but soon after let the Democratic Party become more conservative. So she literally could say, I voted for Biden. I was wrong about him and his policies has destroyed our country. And it's still the highest possibility that Joe Biden is the nominee, and that would leave DEI hire Kamala Harris to be vice president. And if you all remember, Tulsi was the one that ended Kamala's campaign in just a few minutes. Let's take a look at this beauty.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?
Yeah, who wouldn't want a rematch like that? She's also currently serving in the military, first enlisting in the Hawaii National Guard, deploying to Iraq, and later becoming a military police officer, deploying to Kuwait. She's now a civil affairs officer out of California, but this time in the reserve. But the specific details don't matter. She's an Army soldier, and a lot of politicians can't say that. I hear chatter of some Republicans not trusting her, but from nearly the beginning, she was an outsider Democrat that eventually got sidelined by her party for criticizing the Obama administration at the time for things like not calling ISIS a radical Islamic group. Quote, the administration still has not accurately defined our enemy, she said in January after the president's State of the Union address. We must acknowledge that 9/11, as well as the recent violent attacks in Paris and elsewhere around the world, are rooted in Islamic extremism. If you're a Democrat and criticize Obama during his administration, that was a good way to end your career, and I think it shows spine that you criticize your side of the aisle. And when she ran for president, Hillary Clinton called her a Russian asset. So if that doesn't make you like her even more, then there you go. But anyways, guys, who is your topic for vice president? I'm bracing myself on the possibility that I will be disappointed. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.